Happy New Year. I hope everyone's new year has been starting off great. I want to do a shift recap of my first shift of this year, 2026, which happened to be on New Year's Day, which was the night shift on New Year's Day. And if you don't know, I'm Tara Maple. I'm an ICU Nurse Practitioner. So come with me and let's do a shift recap. Got to work at 1750 for sign out, and sign out is when we kind of just go over the patient, say, tell me what's going on, give me the highlights, boom, 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 what I need to watch out for, et cetera, et cetera. It's variable on the length of time it takes, whether, amount of patients we have, the acuity, if I'm familiar with the patients or not. This day didn't take too long. It was only 8 patients when I got there. There was one that was waiting to be seen in the emergency department. For my team, day shift usually consists of a physician and 2 APPs, which is either a nurse practitioner or a physician assistant. And then at night, there is a APP at night with the physician on call if needed. So they gave me sign out, which took about 30 minutes. Then I went down and I seen the patient that was in the ICU. I came up, I found the charge nurse and let her know about the patient because the patient needed some special services that only certain ICU nurses are able to do. So I wanted to let her know about that so she could make sure that the appropriate nurse was assigned to the patient. I went to the office and I placed the admission orders. I wrote my history and physical. During that process, I got a page from the ED for a new patient. So I stopped with what I was doing. I reviewed that patient's chart just to kind of get a general idea of what's going on with the patient and if I needed to ask any questions. When I called the ED back, I called them back, but the initial doctor that had paged me that wanted to send the patient to ICU had gone for the day. And so there was another physician that was now over the patient, but didn't really know too much about the patient. So I gave her kind of what my thoughts were on the patient. And I didn't think the patient needed to come to the ICU, but try these things and let me know what happens. And she was like, okay, cool. So I got the phone with her and I finished doing that H&P on that first patient. I reviewed the charts of the patients that was in the ICU because there are some lab results and things that I needed to follow up on. And I needed to look at the x-ray of abdominal x-ray called a KUB on one of the patients to verify placement of a feeding tube. I did that. Then I went and I rounded on the patients and I just go evaluate the patients, if they're family, I talk to them, talk to the patient, see what they need, talk to the nurses, talk to the respiratory therapists about the plan for the patient, the plan for the night, so we have a smooth night because that is always the intent. I came back to my office, I wrote a few orders, and then I was able to eat dinner. After I ate dinner, I did a more in-depth review of my ICU patients and of their charts, reviewing the orders, notes for that day, consult notes, any vital signs and laboratory data up until that point, eyes and nose, making sure everything's just kind of going through all that jazz. I attempted to call the ICU back about 3 times to follow up on that patient. I couldn't get in touch with the doctor because she was in seeing other patients. When I finally got through at 2300, that doctor had gone and there was yet a third doctor that I was talking to. And while I was talking to him, like, oh yeah, I was just calling to follow up on this patient. While I was looking at that patient's chart, it popped up discharge. And I was like, oh, okay, never mind. Patient was discharged. I was like, okay, bye. But think about it. 1 minute, the patient needed to be in the ICU. And then the next minute they was discharged. Now I know if I would have talked to that first doctor, they would have gave me hell trying to bring that patient to the ICU. It would have been a whole thing, but I would have been right. So I started writing progress notes on the patients That was in the ICU for the next day for January 2nd. So that is one less thing that the day shift have to do when they come in. If there are a few notes that are already done, that really helps out the team because it can get really busy sometimes during the day shift. And also new lab results and things were coming back, and again answering questions and chat messages to nurses. I love the chat message system. Love. About 3:30, I got paged by the ED for another patient. I reviewed their chart, talked to them, went and seen the patient in the ED, came back up to the office, wrote the admission order, wrote the notes, and by that time it was time for me to start preparing for the oncoming shift and updating our list that we use to kind of give a summary of the patients. So I did that. The day shift arrived. I gave them sign out, and then at 6:30 I left. So not too crazy of a shift for my first shift of the new year. So for more shift recaps, subscribe or follow, and I'll see you next time.